Hi, I'm Sylvanians, and I make videos about Sylvanian families, also known as Calico gritters. And today I am opening the Vintage Beautician Set. I bought this second hand from Vinted as it's not made anymore, and I thought it could be really cute with all of the tiny accessories. As per my anniversary collection book, this set was originally released in 2004 in Japan as part of the beauty salon range with a few other sets, although this is a slightly different colourway to the one that we got in the UK. That is this set, which was released under Flair around 2008, but also went along with the beauty salon and Antonio Patch's The Hairdresser. On the box there is a picture of one of the butter gloves in an outfit with the little trolley that has lots of tiny accessories for doing hair. There is also Abigail Bramble in the background, who obviously has the big spines, and she would be a perfect candidate for some hairdressing, and she's sat in the salon. Another cute picture here. You can see a hole in the box. And these are the items that were originally included. It says, the beautician set allows everyone to be pampered once in a while. Get your hair done for a special occasion, or just get your hair done because you are worth it, which is very cute. I'm not quite sure if this set includes everything in here. As I mentioned, it is second hand and I bought this from Vinted, but we can take a look. And there's that same picture again. It does say that the figure isn't included. And there is everything laid out, not quite in the nice way that we're used to nowadays. As I said, it was released under Flair, and yeah, it says 2008 here. So let's get it open. So it does look to have most of the items. I'm trying to check against the picture and I think it includes all of the items, but we can take a look in turn. Most importantly, it does include the little rolling trolley. This is just a nice brown tone with tiny wheels, although that one looks a bit almost bitten. Maybe a pet got it or something. This other side looks good, but unfortunately this is the side where the drawer goes. I might be able to get these out. And then switch them around to have the better side on this one. Although that is a little bit worn, I don't mind. This drawer goes inside. It's just clear, a little bit grubby actually, and it has two yellow little pulls and some leaf moulding on the clear plastic as well. And that just slots in nicely. I like all the segments on top, which will obviously be good for organising all of the accessories, and it's also at a nice height to be pushed along. This did come with the outfit. Again, this is a little bit stained, so I'll probably just wash it because this is just the usual white cotton, and see if any of the stains can be removed with some soap and water. The pink satiny trousers look okay though. I think the stains just show up more on the white fabric. The pink lines the pockets and also these sort of strips along where the shoulders go to make it a bit more interesting. And I do think it kind of looks like a fancy beautician outfit. For our beautician today, I am going to use Amelia Snow, the white snow bunny rabbit. The trousers are a little bit loose, but fit over her tail. And there is the top as well. I think this looks really nice with the pink of her nose and her ears, although it is a bit dirty still. I would normally clean this, but I just want to get on and film this video rather than waiting for it to clean and dry. So maybe she's just had a hard day at work. So I think the trolley is a good height. Yeah, that looks like she's pushing it along. All of these accessories are so small, so let's take a look at them individually. We have two bowls. I think one is for storage and then one is for hair dye. Although I don't know what hair she's going to be dyeing in Sylvania. This one is slightly taller and just a clear plastic. It does look quite nice though. And this second one has a turquoise painted rim, which just makes it a bit more interesting. We also see the turquoise theme in other pieces. So this is where I show off my lack of hairdressing knowledge. This looks like, to be honest, it looks like a hamster water bottle if I put it that way around. But I think maybe it's for putting dye in hair. Again, it is clear, so not quite sure. Maybe it's more of a hair conditioner or a hair oil. And this looks like a pump of some sort. It's clear again with a bubble in the centre and a tiny turquoise painted part at the bottom of the pump. This is another container. It's a pink plastic basket that is moulded to look like wicker, and also pink are these rollers. If I hold them with my tweezers, you can see the tiny ridged bumps along the sides of them, which make them look more interesting, though I imagine these would also be a choking hazard. And we have 6 of those. They fit perfectly in one of the sections on the trolley and can be stacked up to make a pyramid. I think this might also be a hair dyeing tool. It kind of looks like the shape of a brush, but there aren't any bristles on the ends, and the box doesn't give any clues as to what this actually is. So if you have any idea, then let me know. There are a few different types of brushes. This one is sort of a side-on one. It almost looks like a toothbrush kind of to me. This is a more regular style brush with the white bristles, and you can see it has an indent on the back. And this final brush is dual-sided with some dark bristles and also some white bristles. Once the hair has been dyed, they may want to cut it, and we have 2 pairs of scissors. These are the larger pair, which have shorter shears, and they do work. And these are a slightly smaller pair with longer shears. Again, they do work. And I have seen this style of handle on hairdressing scissors before. I think this is for kind of resting your finger against to give you more precision. So really nice that we get 2 different pairs of scissors. And while you're having your hair cut, you might want a little snack. So it includes 2 tiny wrapped sweets, one in pink and one in yellow. And these are identical to other ones that we've got in the Sylvanian range in things like sweet shops. So the beautician can keep track of her customers and schedule for the day. We have a small clipboard and this piece of paper which says customer card on. It does have tiny writing on that I can't quite make out, but the top does say customer card. And to go with that, there's an orange pencil, so we can pretend that she's writing her appointments down. So the items missing in this set are a cream tool of some sort, maybe for mixing dye, and also the 2 paper boxes. That's what these look like, and I might have a look online to see if there are any scans to print out some of my own. And the yellow or cream tool is just behind there on this picture. And I think I should be able to stack up everything nicely onto the trolley. And the clipboard can just rest on the top. Nice! This is a really cute set, and I love the realistic colours. The brown trolley and brushes and the silver scissors are all quite realistic. For some reason I have the curling rods as pink as very realistic as well, and hints of turquoise in the bottles. Although Sylvanians don't have hair, I think it's nice to have all of these pieces for making a realistic salon, and would be really fun for play for children. There are a lot of small pieces though, so I'm surprised that almost all were included in this set, and also noted that on the box it did say for 4+ rather than the usual 3+. To me, this set is emblematic of the Flair era, with having so many tiny pieces and an amazing level of detail, which collectors like me love. So putting Amelia and her cart to the side, I thought it could be interesting to do a comparison to a more modern version of this set. On the left is the Pony Hairstylist set, which comes with Seraphina Manely, the pony mother. This was originally released in 2021 in the Sylvanian range in Japan, and came with a more modern beauty salon, as on this page in my collection book. I opened this particular set on a live here on YouTube if you want to see the full unboxing, and although I didn't really like the ponies when they first came out, I do quite like Seraphina now. She has lovely hair which is cream and purple and is perfect for brushing or putting hair clips in, whereas obviously I'm not quite sure what they're putting in curlers with this old set. She also came in a beautician outfit, which, like the one on Amelia, has a big pair of pockets on the front. These are perfect for putting tools in. In fact, I should have tested that. Yeah, fits nicely. So in terms of accessories, we do have some more modern ones which aren't seen in the older set, such as these straighteners which open and also have a handle on for the figures to hold. Back in the time that this set was released, the figures had gripping hands, so could have held some of the pieces to a certain extent. Seraphina does not want to stay upright. The modern set also came with a hairdryer, again with that handle, and the colours probably wouldn't look too out of place with the older set. But there are some pieces which remain the same in both sets. For example, some scissors. These are the more modern pony one, and straight away they are much thicker than the older version. They do also open and shut, but not quite as nicely as the older version. And here are the pair that are most similar. They both have the same shape of handle, although I do quite like the curvature on this one. The cutting part does lack the finesse of the older one though, and they are also just way more chunky feeling. There are some bowls in both. This one actually looks a bit more detailed in this minced plastic. It has a handle, again to help it being held, and a bow moulding and embossed on the bottom of the bowl. There's also a nice sort of pouring spout moulded in as well. It is interesting that they are a similar minty blue-green shade, although this one does have more detail that I enjoy, like the spout. There are some different products in the newer set. This looks to be the same kind of bottle. I do prefer the longer nozzle, even though I'm not quite sure what it's for, and also the blue colour looks cleaner. Here are the other products. I think they are all quite different. I think the different size of the brushes is really funny. This one is so small and doesn't have working bristles, whereas this pink comb is much larger and I think can be used with Seraphina's hair, though it doesn't really do much. And the comb looks kind of comically large with the older Beautician trolley. There is also a hand mirror in the new set, which I do think is a nice addition, and some hair clips too. So overall, if we're comparing these two sets, then the modern version is much more colourful with larger pieces that are a bit easier to hold, whereas the newer set is more realistic and a better scale. I think in my collection, these two actually really complement each other well and could have a thriving business together. Maybe Seraphina is more of a hairstylist, whereas whoever I decide to be the beautician with the older set can specialise more in hair dyeing and cutting. So that is the Sylvanian Families Flair Era Beautician Set. I don't really have room for a hair salon, but I'm going to keep a lookout for the hood hairdryer, as that has been a piece that I've always enjoyed. I think I'll add this to a styling section, perhaps next to my photography setup, perhaps next to Mr. Mace's photography area, for getting the Sylvanians looking their best. I love looking at these older sets and also being able to compare them to more modern ones to see how the brand has changed. But let me know which one you prefer, and if you have this set or any of the other items in this range, especially if you think I need to get the hair salon. So that is today's video. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like Sylvanian Families content, then subscribe to my channel as I post videos every week about everything Sylvanian, including unboxings, setups, and all the latest news and announcements.